I had last week, or no, it was 2 weeks ago now. Like there's a spirit of prophecy that came on me, and I was just reminded of it right now because God's. I don't know if you guys were here, whoever was here last 2 weeks ago with Terry and Brian, but if you recall, I shared about a vision about a wave coming.
Yeah.
And then Terry, we didn't talk, but then he said the same thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of put it out there. There is a sobriety in the spirit right now. And I think it's vital to get on your face before the Lord. Thank you for the time. The time is late. What the Lord's doing with me, and I feel like He's doing this with many people, and I just want to share it. So just to emphasize it, there is a wave coming, and there's different ways. I feel personally that the wave for some will be destructive, and for others will be great blessing. Positioning yourself is everything.
Yeah.
Positioning your heart before the Lord, ordering your house, your priorities. I feel the Holy Spirit right now. It's time to get serious. In regards to finances, I believe many in the world are going to suffer loss. But I feel the Lord, even myself, He's positioning me for blessing. But there is a participation involved. And so for me, that's looked like giving sacrificially.
Yeah.
And but that's the Lord's invitation. I'm not trying to drum up anything and say, I'm just going to give and then you're going to bless me. No, it's relational.
Yes.
And I think that's what's been lost when we talk about money. So I would just encourage you guys, whoever's out there, there's a transition. I feel there's a transition for many here, whether it's moving on in business or whatever. But just get on your face, get to know what the Lord is saying for you individually, and be obedient, because God is trying to set us up for favor and blessing.
Yes.
But I'm learning that the kingdom finances He does it a certain way, and He doesn't just bend His ways for you. You have to get on His page. So whatever that looks like, and I'm standing here looking out the door at this building right here as an example, because I was actually painting for Stephen's mother-in-law a couple of weeks ago, and I was having a conversation with the Lord about finances, because I have a lot of need. We all have need. And I was talking to his son because he was working for me, and I was like, I'm like, I feel like God's giving me this favor with getting this job to paint an equestrian center. And Eli's like, well, that's funny. They're building one right over here. I'm like, what? Little behold, I'm talking to the contractor building that equestrian center right in the back there. And that's not coincidence, people. And God has just been giving these signs to me.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm a man. Like when you speak, you can present yourself as a superman of faith. I am just an average guy with a mustard seed of faith many times.
Yeah.
And but I feel like I just want to share that as an example of God blessing me, because you look to the future financially is uncertain, and especially in the economy, and it looks uncertain in the natural. But that's why we're not looking according to the natural.
It's good.
It's time to get His eyes, His perspective.
Yeah.
And I'll share one more thing. So when I went, I guess I'm preaching a sermon. I'm sorry. Are you supposed to preach? I was preaching.
Well, I'm loaded up, but we're
okay. Anyway, I'll be 2 more minutes.
We're good. We're good.
I wasn't planning on sharing, but this is how I work. So I went camping on the Vancouver Island. Okay, there's 2 parts of this story now. I guess I can share more than 5 minutes, just real quick. Is it okay?
It's good.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I went camping on Vancouver Island. My wife planned it all, and camping to me seems like a lot of work. It's not a vacation sometimes. I guess I'm kind of more of a cabin hotel guy, but anyway, quality time with the family. So it's expensive. It ends up being an expensive trip, ferry, all this. So I'm like, okay, go. So I get there. So drive around. So it's about a 2-hour drive after the ferry. We get off. We drive this route. Get on a logging road. It's a bit of a drive, and then we find out the road's closed. And of course, I've been driving all day. Kids in the back, squirrely. I'm irritated already, and now I'm just mad, and I want to blame somebody, like my wife. Anyone who I can blame. But you know, when things don't go your way, you want to blame someone. Like when you hit your head. Like you ever hit your head, you're like, you just want to get mad at someone. It's like that, right? So, so it ends up being an 1.5-hour detour back around the other side of the lake, way up, well, a forestry road, rough road. So I'm just incredibly irritable. I'm mad. I want to blame somebody.
Wasn't that when I was messaging you?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Shoddy cell phone reception. So anyway, then I go up the logging road and we're like, now we're almost there. My tire gauge goes on, the air pressure gauge. Oh, I'm like, well, of course. Typical. You know, now I'm feeling sorry for myself. And then, so I pull in to the campsite, back in. I get out, look at my tires. Yep, that's low. All of a sudden, tire posts open, just. And now I'm just like, this is supposed to be my vacation, and I'm like, I'm feeling all kinds of emotion. And then my wife's like, don't blame. You're just gonna blame me now, and because I just have that look on my face, like I'm just gonna rip someone's heart. So I'm just being very real. Anyway, I wanted to share that just because the Lord, after that, I kind of calmed down, and luckily the camp host, and that's the other thing, I was reading all the reviews, and all the reviews on Google was like, this camp host is like a Nazi, and he don't even talk after 9 o'clock. And so I'm just expecting the worst. And then this guy comes and he has because I didn't have all the right stuff to change my tire, to put the spare on. He helped me for like 3 hours.
Wow.
And it was just getting to know the guy. And it was just such a cool, I'm like, and like my tire could have burst way early down the road, and I'm walking a mile. And I felt the Lord just saying, I felt the Lord there knocking on the door of my heart as I'm mad and angry and wanting to blame somebody. And then the last week and a half, the Lord's just been speaking to me a lot through that situation, and that he's looking for resilience in his people. That when things don't go your way, or when your faith is not in an outcome, our faith is in a person. And I feel like there's going to be times ahead, the Lord's saying, where there's things that don't go your way. And how is it going to shape your faith? Because so much of Christianity has become a shallow thing where we put our faith in God in a specific outcome. And if the things don't go our way, what is our faith at? And God's always working. And in 1 Peter 4, he says, do not think it a strange thing when you go through fiery trials. Do not think it a strange thing. And it talks about our faith growing in perseverance. And so I feel like we're coming into a season, we're coming out of holidays, and it's time to persevere. It's time to gird up our loins, our faith, to get our eyes on the Lord, and to be obedient, and to be obedient quickly, because I feel the time is short, and the Lord he is also setting us up for provision and grace, but he's looking for participation in that. And so I would just admonish us as a body to, first things first is put him first. Ask for what he's asking to be obedient in. Have eyes for him, not on outward things. And also ask the Lord what he's working on in your heart. When things don't go our way, when we face disappointments, what's our heart at? And so I feel the Lord, he's working. The word I keep getting is resilience. And you can't have resilience if you don't go through adversity. So yeah, my trip wasn't ideal, and it was cloudy half the time. And I prayed the clouds away a few times, but then it kept coming back. But at the end of the day, I just accepted what the Lord was doing in my heart. And I didn't do it perfectly. But yeah, just wanted to share that. You know, it's a mixed bag sometimes. Sometimes it's the enemy. Sometimes it's the Lord allowing things. Sometimes it's a mix of both. But the thing is, you know, he's looking for this faith of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, where they were brought before the king, and their devotion to the Lord was not based on a specific outcome.
Yeah.
They said, our God is able to save us from the fire. But even if he doesn't, we will not bow. And I think that's the faith that God's looking for in this time in us. Is, Lord, you know, it was David, though you slay me, yet I will trust you. There is just this resilience that I am the Lord's and he is mine, no matter what. And I think there's shaking coming upon the earth. There's blessing, there's mixed bag. But through it all, he's looking for a people with resilience and obedience. So anyway, amen.
I don't really need it. Yeah. Sure.
I can talk quickly. Good morning. I belong to a team of English teachers. We teach English as additional language. And the team that I'm with has, for the last 25 years, gone to Eastern Europe and taught local English teachers, teaching methods, etc. And I've had the privilege of going with them a few times to Ukraine. Wonderful experience, story for another time. But ever since the war started, the team every Saturday morning, they meet at 10 a.m. over Zoom for prayer time. We invite our Ukrainian friends and former students and leadership in Ukraine to join us if they have internet connections and they can. So yesterday I was at that call, and the theme was, when you go through difficult times, how is that for you? Like, when you become a Christian, did God promise you a smooth ride? Just a little background, you might know the Ukrainians, Eastern Orthodox. A lot of people go to church, but it's God. It's not a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And I really admire our leadership team, because every Saturday morning the focus is Jesus. There is prayer. It's a wonderful time. But yesterday we were talking about, this God promised you a smooth ride. And the upshot was, God does not promise you a smooth ride, but what God promises you is he will never leave you, nor forsake you. And he will never give you more to carry than you can. He will always be there, and to always focus on him, because he has a bigger plan than we can see.
Right.
So focus on him, and he will take you through.
Yes. Amen. Amen.